All right, let's dive in. Today, we're cracking open a real classic in the cybersecurity world, a challenge called Kioptrix. It's kind of like a rite of passage. It's designed to teach you the fundamentals, but there's this one specific detail that trips up almost every single beginner. And trust me, it reveals a huge lesson about how we should approach security investigations.
So, what is that number one mistake? Well, think of this as a bit of a detective story. We're going to follow the clues, we're going to hit the same dead ends as everyone else, and then we're going to uncover that one simple error that just changes the entire game.
So our case file today is Kioptrix Level 1. It's this virtual machine that you can download and then try to get full control of, what we call boot to root. It's famous, and for good reason. It's a fantastic learning tool, but it's also famous for one particular trap that consistently gets people.
Okay, so let's get into the mindset of someone new to this. When an investigator fires up this machine, they almost always follow the same trail of breadcrumbs. It seems like the only logical path forward, but, well, you'll see.
The process almost always kicks off the same way. First thing you do? You run a basic port scan to see what services are even open, and right away, bam, you spot port 80, the web server. You think, perfect. A ton of security guides emphasize web vulnerabilities, right? So the next logical step is to start poking at that web server, looking for a way in. But this hyperfocus, this is exactly where the tunnel vision begins.
And this is where the frustration starts to build. You follow that web server lead with everything you've got, you throw all your tools at it, and you get, well, absolutely nothing. The trail just goes completely cold. You're left staring at a digital brick wall, a feeling I'm sure many of us know all too well.
So after that initial scan, this is basically what you're looking at. You see port 80 is open, running an older version of Apache. And that's it. All the other common low-hanging fruit ports seem to be closed. So that web server feels like it's the only door, but every time you try the handle, it's locked up tight. And this is that moment of crisis. You're thinking, the web server's a dead end, my scans show absolutely nothing else, what am I supposed to do now? It honestly feels like the challenge is broken. Or maybe you're just missing some super advanced, secret technique. But the answer, it's actually so much simpler.
You see, the clue that cracks this whole case wide open wasn't missed because it was hiding behind some complex encryption or an obscure trick. Nope, it was missed because of a bad assumption, one made right at the very beginning of the whole process.
And this right here illustrates the entire mistake perfectly. On the left, that's what you get from a basic quick and dirty scan. On the right, that's what a comprehensive, thorough scan turns up. The difference is just one single overlooked port, port 139, the SMB service. This is our aha moment. This is the whole thing.
So what in the world is SMB? Well, it stands for Server Message Block. It's a protocol that's used for sharing things like files and printers across the network. The specific version running on this machine is an open-source implementation called Samba. And as we're about to see, it's the key that unlocks this entire system.
So why is this one service such a huge deal? Well, first off, as even Microsoft's own documents will tell you, this is an old version of the protocol, SMB v1, and it is infamous for its security holes. Second, this just drives home a core principle from standards bodies like NIST. You have to do comprehensive testing. You have to find all the services, not just the ones you expect. And finally, like OWASP always emphasizes, your job is to check out every single running service because any one of them could be your way in.
This is what lets us zoom out from just this one Kioptrix puzzle to the universal lesson it teaches us. This isn't really about one virtual machine. It's about a fundamental rule of information gathering, or what we call reconnaissance.
All this really boils down to what we can call the golden rule of recon. Number 1, enumerate everything. I'm not talking about just scanning the top 1,000 ports. I mean scan all 65,535 of them. Number 2, question your assumptions. Just because that web server is right there waving at you doesn't mean it's the weak point. And number 3, be methodical. In security, thoroughness always beats speed. The overlooked clue is found by the patient investigator, not the one who rushes.
And that really just leaves us with this final thought to chew on. In this case, and in so many others, the biggest vulnerability wasn't some flaw in the web server's code. It was a flaw in the investigator's process, the assumption that a quick look was good enough. And it forces us all to ask ourselves, in our own work, in our own learning, what are we assuming?